You know how I said I didn't want to overbuy? That I want to use what I have and that I don't just want to go out buying stuff for things that I don't even know what for? Yeah, well, that went out of the window. Welcome back to my rabbit hole. We are talking yarn again on this channel today. We are having a new knitting and crocheting podcast, and I'm excited because, guys, a lot has happened since our last check-in, our last podcast. If you haven't seen my vlog, in the vlog I've also have knitted a lot of stuff. Then maybe check that out before if you really want to go in chronological order. I'll link it up in the cards and down below. And we are just jumping in because we have a lot of topics, a lot of acquisitions. Yeah. My impulsiveness got over me. Let's start with finished objects. Today I'm having 3 finished objects. Oh my gosh, yes, you heard correct, 3. That's a lot, I think. So first we are having my blue summer lace socks. I don't know, I just came up with the name just now. As you can see, they are having a lace pattern. This is my first lace pattern that I've ever done, and this is so much fun to knit up. When I did the first sock, as you saw me, I already had the cuff done, and then I was working on the heel and I was just not inspired anymore. So what I decided in the middle of the first sock was that I would change my plans because I first wanted to knit them plain vanilla, and then I searched in my sock knitting book for a lace pattern that is really easy, and I found this one, which is honestly so easy. The only things that you need to know is yarn over and slip knit. Like, that's it. So this was so much fun. In the first sock, I don't even know, I think this is the second sock. In the first sock I had some hiccups. Oh my god, I made some mistakes there. So one time, first when I started the lace pattern, I thought like I needed to be right in the middle of the foot, but because the slip knit and the yarn over is a bit like in between the stitches, or maybe even a bit more behind, I don't know how to explain that. It was just looking weird, so I was switching, like I was sliding over a stitch mid-project. And then for one row, I, instead of doing 4, I think 3 or 4 repeats in between the lace, I did 1 too much, and then I corrected that in the next round by doing 1 less. And so there's something going on. And then right down here at the third last row of lace, I forgot a yarn over in the end. So this one I think is nearly perfect. My stitches look good. I don't think that I've made any big mistakes, and I really like them. I also had them on, but I didn't bother to make photos for you because they're just socks. And no, I'm not blocking my socks. I'm too lazy for that. Okay. Project number 2 is the Lilly top by Kelsey Beckham, Passionate Kelsey here on the interwebs, or like, how do you say, YouTube. And as I said before, and I made some pictures with it on, I needed to sew a few stitches here together so that my boobs wouldn't fall out completely. But I definitely need to say it's not the best project. Of course, it's my very first crochet project I've ever done. So, like, it is expected to have some problems, right? I didn't use the yarn I was supposed to use. I didn't use the hook size. I didn't use The yarn, like, it wasn't cotton, it was like a linen blend. And so yeah, I'm having some pictures here for you because I modeled a few. No, I didn't model. I wanted to upload them on my Ravelry, but the quality is so bad that I don't know. But I'm showing you, it has some issues, okay? So for example, first the cups, I think I did them a bit too big. And now I have the feeling like my boobs are falling out in between. And even after I stitched the cups a bit together, it still feels very, you know, there's a lot going on. Second, this yarn stretches out, and the this one, how do you say, the cord? This one also stretches out, so I need to wrap it around my body, because if not, I mean, it won't hold, it would just fall down. And I like some coverage. I like if something fits like neatly and stays where it is. And with this one, with like tying it together, it's not staying where it is. Like it's constantly coming down, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that, because the straps, they just move down because there's some weight here, of course, you know, and the yarn or the fabric doesn't have the strength to hold the babies up. So it's just like, hello, and they're having their natural form, which isn't bad at all, but it's just not looking like you're having a bra on and they're just nice and up, you know, the girls. No, they're not. They're just like hanging there. So for a fact, this top I can definitely not wear for salsa or bachata. No way. But that's okay. It's my first project and I'm still deciding what to do with it. Maybe I'm giving it away. It's a nice top, or maybe I'm throwing it away. Sorry if this is offending you, but yeah, there's no point in keeping something that I don't like. So third finished object, and may you guessed it, last time you saw this project only like in balls, because I just had acquired the yarn. And oh my gosh, the basic halter top from Kelsey Beckham, okay, same designer as the finished object before, is finished, and I can show you here, and afterwards I'm showing you some pictures. But basically I have done this in Drops Paris. I have done it with a 4mm hook that I've bought last time we spoke, and as you can see, it looks a bit different. So I've started out with the same pattern she suggested right here. Then I've gone down and I was like, okay, if I keep on doing this, there are these holes in there. Can you see? There are these holes, and I'm afraid that my nipples show through, honestly. I was afraid of that because they're quite big. So I was like, okay, I don't have a different hook. What can I do? Like, I don't want to show my nipples, right? So then I decided to go, instead of with double crochets, I would go with single crochets. These are American terms, I guess, I think, if you were wondering. So I did single crochets, and that went well, but I did the increases in a way that it was like flaring out and coming out like this, and it wasn't a line anymore here, right? It was just like this. It was just like, it was too much increases. So I already was down here, I think, and I ripped it all back. Yes, I did that. That hurt. But well, now it's better. Then I went down again, finished the top off. I think I even washed it and blocked it. I didn't have a blocking mat or something. I'm just laying it out flat. Then I wore it to a dance class I gave once, and I was like, no, not gonna happen the second time. So I was like really bummed because honestly, like the first top, okay, I get it. It's only 2 cups. It shouldn't hold well. But this one was with the correct yarn. It was with the correct needle. It was just not staying. Just like the other one, it was just like calming down, slowly calming down. And I was like, okay, what can I do without just constantly moving the straps and like figuring out how can I get it any tighter so that it will hold and stuff. So then I decided, okay, I need to go back because I really like this top. I like how it came out and I had a bit of yarn left. So I tried and actually did it. It's not the most perfect way I did it, but it works. So I added some straps here and basically now it's, wait, I need to show you. So now the way you're putting it on is just you're putting it on like this. And then you're having that strap that is just like holding it at height. And this one, like the other strap, should wrap it so that it's tight, right? So I did that and I also tried it on. I didn't go to a dance class with it, but I tried it on and moved around in it at home a bit. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's way better. I washed it again, I dried it again, flat laid, and then I made some pictures. And so I'll show you here again. I think it came out quite good, but still it has some issues and you cannot really see on the photos. But basically what happens is that because it's like this shape of a trapeze, that's the German word, I don't know the English word, but like it's basically a line here and then it flares out and then it goes down like straight, and you know, what happens is that here around the bust on the side it's standing a bit, like it's not on the body. And I don't know if this is because I used the stiff cotton, the Drops Paris, or if it's just because, I don't know, I did something wrong. Maybe I did too much fabric, but I don't think so. Maybe it's because I did the single crochets around the bust because I didn't want my nipples to show. So there it's a bit of a stiffer material, right? So my boobs cannot just like, so the fabric isn't just like moving around as consistently as with just one fabric type. So maybe that's why there is some like, yeah, extra. So I basically would need to take out some fabric here, but I of course cannot do that. So well, I don't know, I really like the project and I definitely want to try it out also dancing, because now I think because I attached the extra straps so it's held on the right height, it will be better and it will also hold the girls where they should be, right? So yeah, I will try that out. I think I'll update you next time if I've worn it in between sometime. I definitely want to use it or like wear it soon. So yeah, but I'm excited about the project. I really like how the fabric came out, and even if in between I was really unsure about the color because it's a bit too yellowy for me, I think. In a even lighter color it would look better on me, but I'm totally okay with the outcome of this top, and I am not intending to give this away. The other one, yes, but this one, no, I think I like it too much actually. The only thing is with both tops, because it's so stretchy, and down here, I don't know if you can see, okay, I'll show you. So, you know, this is the top, this is the bottom of the top, and here, this is very stretching out, and especially the bottom of it. So if you wear it, this is not straight down, this is not vertical. this goes like this. So when I washed it, I really tried to move it in again, stretch this a bit, like stretch it above, and not stretch it here, but even like, I don't know, condense it. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, it's just what it is, because it's bound with these straps. It's doing its thing, right? Like, also with a different fabric, it would be the same, I guess. The bottom holes where you pull it all together are just the most like tense. And with this top, I also need to put the straps around my body and make a loop in front, how do you say it? A knot? It's not a knot, but whatever. I need to tie it in front as well, because they're also so long when I just try to be covered in a comfortable, tense way. I don't know. I think I like my tops, especially for dancing, quite snug. Next, let us talk about my Sabai top. I have come quite far at this, okay? If you've seen my last podcast, you know, at that time, and I think it's about 4 weeks since I filmed that, that I actually just have acquired 5 balls from Sandnes, Line. Oh my gosh, my brain today. Yeah, Sandnes yarn Line, and it's a where is it? Oh yeah, 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen blend, and it's so nice to work with. I also, last time you saw this, have acquired these new needles, which are 4mm from Knit Pro, and I then immediately purchased the Sabai top pattern from Paula Strickt. Yeah, this is hard for me. So I started out doing this, and I was super motivated, and I think the first part was the most intense for me, because I needed to learn increases that I've never done before. As you know, before I've only done socks, so decreases were no problem at all, but increases, I was like, what do I need to do? Yeah, no idea. So I actually learned that when I did this top, and I need to show you these details, because probably you already know, but this is, I think, so beautiful how this is done, and yeah, so good. So where I am right now, you're seeing the back, this is the front. Where I am right now in the vlog I filmed, I joined the front and the back panel together in the round, and since then I have added quite some length to the top. Yesterday, because I got a package that we are talking later about, I put this on some stitch holders, and I tried it on for the very first time, and actually it fits quite well. I cannot show you because I didn't make a photo, it was really dark, but I'm here, around here, so this is where the front and back panel connects, and then I'm right at my waist, do you say waist? Whatever. Yeah, and so I have quite some more to go, but I'm really happy about this, and I cannot wait to finish this, because this is momentarily my most successful thing I can show you. This sounds so weird, but yeah, there's some drama to come. Just wait for it. So I'm really happy with this. The instructions are really clear. They are like well written. I can recommend it, honestly, and I think the details are beautiful. My knitting is not perfect by any means, but I enjoy to work on this, and yeah, The only thing I must say, because I normally I'm used to use very thin needles, as you know, with sock knitting, I'm using 2.5 millimeter needles. With this one, I'm using 4 millimeter needles, and this yarn also is quite slippy, so it's, yeah, I tend to tense up. I tend to, yeah, not be relaxed doing it, so I'm trying to take pauses. I'm trying to remember to relax my shoulders. I'm trying to find comfortable positions, but 4.0 millimeters are definitely a size for me which is more intense than with sock knitting, because with sock knitting they are so small, these needles, right? And yeah, like somehow the smaller movements are easier for me than the bigger movements. Next, we are coming to a project that I cannot show you anymore. Okay, so I'm inserting some pictures from the vlog where I have shown you that I am knitting on a hatband, or some ear warmers, if you want to say so. And I was so obsessed with my hat that I've made myself with this very gorgeous variegated yarn with alpaca, and then the sock yarn, and this combination was just so good. And I was just like, yeah, I'm craving an easy project. I cannot do something else right now. I'm only working on my Sabai top. I need something else to, I don't know, I just need something else. So I was like, okay, I can make myself some ear warmers, right? I don't own ear warmers, so it sounded like a great idea. I casted it on, I knit on it. I was like, how thick need ear warmers, like how thick ear warmers need to be? Like, I don't even know. So I researched like 10 centimeters at least. Okay, good. So I reached about 10 centimeters. I even did a stretchy cast off, guys. I learned a stretchy cast off. And then I tried it on. It was only the very last stitch that was on my needle. It was just dangling down. I tried it on because I was like, okay, now I can try it on, right? Before I'm cutting the yarn and like sewing in the ends, I can try it on. I mean, yeah, I'm glad I did that because it was way too big. I decided to go with a single layer. So if you recall, I thought about doing a double layer ear warmer thingy or a single layer. And in fact, I didn't think that I would have enough yarn from the variegated yarn to do it double. So I was like, okay. And anyways, I was like, okay, I'm having the hat for the really warm needs, for the really cold weather. So I can do the thin layer or the one layer for the ear warmers for, like, you know, some autumny vibes, some autumny days that are not as cold, but you just need something for your ears to protect. Yeah, so I tried it on and it was way too big. And I was so sad. And for quite some days, it was just laying there, bugging me. And yesterday night, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not finishing this project. This is way too big. This is even way too big for a man's head. Like, it was just like feeling as if it would fall down my head. I don't know what it is about the second layer that if you're folding over the brim, it's so much more, I don't know, it gives you more tension. Well, it's double layer, right? But for one layer, it was just not enough. It was too much. It was too much cast on. So, yeah, I ripped it out. I frogged it, guys. I frogged it, and I'm showing you a picture how far I've come. And I took the picture last night when I just decided to frog it, and I tried it out. How can I frog it? Because I've already like cast off the majority of it. It was just one stitch on there still. So I tried to. It was there were some tangles because the yarn is just like holding on to each other, but I got it out, and I will use the yarn in the future, but not now, guys. I don't want to cast on that project again. I would love to make myself some earwarmers in the future, but then I need to figure out how many stitches I need to cast on. And yeah, because this was just too much. But for reference, at least I'm having my hat, and I also can try it on with just a not folded brim, just like to see how I like the tension on my hat. So I have that, and yeah, but for now it's frogged. The wool is back in their containers, and I feel better about it. Yeah, there was no way of saving that. It was not good. It was, no. So now let's talk projects and yarn and other yarny things that you've never seen before. And you should stay tuned. So first, during all of my other projects, I was like, okay, I definitely wanna crochet something else, because I was finished with my halter top, and I was just like craving something else to do with my hands, with crocheting. I mean, all the knitting projects I did were just like going on, and I was just like, yeah, just basically looking at all of my sock yarn scraps and looking through Ravelry, and I was inspired by some people, by some other podcasters, knitting and crocheting podcasters who have done blankets. So this is the very first piece. It's not, there are other pieces, but whatever, of my scrap yarn project blanket. And right now it's not looking like much, but it will be. I will blend in the pattern that I'm using from Ravelry. I think it's absolutely perfect for this project. I am having a lot of scraps from my socks, and one scrap yarn, for example, is this one. This is the very first sock yarn I've ever used. No, it's not the very first, but in this fingering weight, it's the first one. And I don't like how it feels. So I was like, I want to use all of this up into a project that I will love. And with crocheting also, the yarn that you're using, oh my gosh, it's eating yarn. It's just eating yarn. So I figured out each of these squares are about 5 or 6 grams, I think. And I only was able to figure that out by this new acquisition. And you're like, Laura, what is this? This is a normal kitchen scale. Yes, it is. It's a kitchen and ladder scale. And I wanted one for a long time. And this was on sale in this lovely green color. So I got it in the green color. And absolutely love it. Of course, this stays in my office instead of my kitchen, because why not? I mean, you need a scale in the office way more often than in the kitchen, right? Guys, I'm 30 years old, and never in my life since I've moved out I had a scale in my household. Never, right? I know for Americans it's way more common to use the cups and everything. In Germany, we are not. We're normally using a scale, but for me, I always used a measuring cup. I have just one where it's written like, I don't know, flour and milk and whatever, right? With the grams and milliliters. And I've always used that one. But for letter mailing, for example, I never had a scale. And I was always like, I need to go to the post office in person. And let them weigh it and everything. So it was like, this project is my opportunity to get a scale. This sounds so stupid, guys. Yeah, whatever. But I'm really happy with the outcome of this piece. As you can see, it's only 8 pieces right now, but there's way more planned out in my computer. I will show you, but a little bit later. So what I'm actually doing is, my rule is every sock yarn I have and I want to use asterisks and I want to use, I first need to use for some socks. And afterwards, the scrap yarn can go in here, right? In this box I have in my lab, basically. There are, so this scrap is already used because I wanted to see how much, like how many of these I will get out of the small scrap bowl. And I got 6 of them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But they will be deconstructed later, right? When they are joined in the blanket, because I am joining as I go. This is the construction of the blanket I showed you before. So I'm doing that so then afterwards I don't have to stitch everything together. I think it's a very nice construction because the squares are touching, like the colors are touching each other right away, instead of you having like a different color in between. So I love that very much, right? And with all the scraps I have right now, I'm not coming far, but so I already planned out a few more colors I want to get in the future. These 5 balls from Hobie you've seen. This is a pre-shadowing spoiler for later. I'm not happy with them, so I don't want to use them for socks. I don't like the consistency of them. I'll never buy this yarn again for socks. This is France sock wool from Hobie. I just love my opal yarn. Opal yarn for socks is the best in my opinion. Afterwards, very closely followed, there's Lana Grossa Meilenwelt, so this one, and these are my favorites. These are smooth. These I just love them, right? I just love them. They're so good. So I'm not buying different sock yarn anymore. Only if it's a special yarn, it's a variegated yarn. I felt it before, so this is my rule for the future. But we don't know where this is going in a few weeks, right? So yeah, this is my current obsession, one of my current obsessions, doing this scrap yarn blanket. So I'm actually already planning out the other colors. For me, it's important to have a yellow. I want a beige or gray. I want to use a nice color palette, not the same as in the pattern itself, but yeah, just similar, I guess. And with all of these scraps, what I'm doing is basically, because I haven't, of course, gosh, I need to explain things in a way that people know what I'm talking about. I think I'm just rambling around and you're like, what are you doing? Can you please explain? So, what I'm doing, I'm using this for socks. As you saw, these socks are finished, so this went right into the scrap bin, right here, in this scrap box for this scrap blanket, right? Then I'm measuring this, how many grams are left. In this case, it's 59 grams. And on the other ones, I've written down one square uses up to 6 grams. So I'm dividing 59 grams through 6 grams. So I know I have nearly about 10 squares out of this yarn. And then I use this information, and I'm showing you my computer screen, a screenshot of it, and I use that to plan out where the squares go in a relatively big blanket, I would say. It's not a big blanket that you could throw over your bed, but it's about 1 meter to 1.50 meters, so you can use it on your lap, you can use it on your couch. So this is my plan right now, to be able to connect all of these squares as I go. And I think this is a brilliant plan. I don't know what you think about it. Please put it down below. I think it's a big project and it will take a lot of time, but I'm very happy that I'm doing this because this is so much fun. One square isn't taking a long time, not at all. And it's just so fun to also connect it as I go. And I think the more yarn I have, the more squares I can add in one sitting or in one go, because then I don't need to worry that I need to connect two sides. So now what I'm doing is I'm waiting basically to have some so I don't want to trap myself into a position where I need to connect three sides. I always need two open sides, right? For this method, at least, like I know it. So I only can add one square here or here or here, but I can, for example, not add one here, because then I have this square left with three sides. Does this make sense? Tell me, because I have the feeling I'm explaining it in a ways that nobody understands in the end. Coming to some happy mail from a friend. I need to quickly show this. I know I showed this in my vlog, but oh my god, I have gotten a package with so many needles from a pen friend, and look at this. This is already a thinned down collection of all the needles I got. There is some in here as well. There are two sets of the double pointed needles, this one and one in here, and then these cable needles she gifted me. And I again need to say thank you very much, because I'm so fortunate that you gave this to me. This is helping me slowing down my purchases, because honestly, for me right now, as you will see in the next few minutes, the hobby is getting crazy. And I know this about myself, that at some point in the hobby, there's just this impulsiveness that throws all good intentions out the window, and I don't want to let it, right? I don't want to let it throw everything out of the window. So thank you so much, and I'll definitely try to use what I have again and figure out how I can make do with what I have, more than just going out and buying random stuff. So thank you. Let's talk about the giant sunburst granny blanket, or however it is called, referencing the pattern here. I have actually come quite far in this, I think. Well, I'm still at the very beginning, but whatever. For me, it's far because it's taking a lot of time. I have finished 6 of these flowers, and then I have one more connected to this lovely skein. And as you saw in my blog, I also have this color to go afterwards. And then I have 2 balls of this white yarn to connect all the flowers together in the end. This is definitely difficult for me because I don't think I chose the right yarn for this project at all. The pattern is calling for an acrylic yarn. I'm using a cotton yarn, and I'm using a quite thin cotton yarn. This yarn from Hobie, it's Cotton Kings Sultan. It's 4-ply, but it's not really spun together. So it's just like, I don't know. it's together, but it's not really spun, so there's no twist in that. And it's hard to not split the yarn. It's also a very small pattern for me, and I needed quite some time to remember what to do. It's not giving blanket at all. It's so thin. It's more giving like shawl, or like, you know, some kind of thing you throw around your neck for decorative reasons. But I think I'll definitely stick with this pattern, and I will finish as I wanted to. I will do this project, and then it can be a nice throw over my bed, because I think this will be so pretty. So my intentions with this blanket is, of course, because I'm apparently allergic to following a pattern as it is. I want to use a different yarn. Of course, I'm doing that right now. So I'm using this orange one. This goes from light to dark, as you can see, and then the pink one goes from dark to light. And I basically want to use this on opposite sides of the blanket. So I want to start with the light apricot color on one side, and I want to start with the dark pink one on the same side. So then I'm having a light and a dark color on the one side, and on the other side I'm having a dark and a light one. And I want to go checkboard, so I want to just switch, just checkboard basically the two. But I will do this in the end, because everything will be joined with this white yarn. And instead of going around the granny square once to square it off, and then connect it with with another round, as suggested in the pattern, I just want to connect it immediately. So we will see how this turns out in the end. For now, I'm having so much progress in front of me, so much work in front of me, that this will also take a lot of time. And until then, my crochet skills will definitely grow, I think, and my understanding of things. So I'm confident that I can do the project, but it's definitely challenging. I right now don't have to have thought it out completely. I think I can trust the process. I can trust the process. I hope. Oh my god, what I've done to me. But the colors are so pretty. Don't you think that these two cakes, oh my god, these are the most pretty colors? Don't you think? Oh my god. Okay, we need to move on, because I have still so much to talk about. If I'm looking into my little booklet, oh my god, we still have four things to talk about. Oh my god. Okay, let's talk different acquisitions. Can you see? No, I've not bought too much yarn. Oh no, never. Never would I've ever buy 1.5 bins of yarn. Just like that, without intentions, without knowing what to do with it. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me explain, okay? Let me explain. So, all of this is my brain just didn't want to work. Let me see. All of this is drops pairs. This is the leftover bowl from when I made my halter top, right? This is the leftover. And apparently I liked it so much, and I liked the idea of cotton yarn, pure cotton yarn, so much that I couldn't handle myself. So I'm really happy about this. Okay, let me explain. Let me put this down on the floor, because this is heavy, and then let's talk what I want to do with this. So first I need to tell you why I got this. This sounds so stupid, and this definitely shows how right now my brain is like, ooh, impulsiveness, I like it, dopamine, let's buy something. So I was at eBay, Kleinanzeigen, it's like marketplace, I don't know. So it's secondhand stuff, right? So all of these balls of yarn are from one seller, and the price on these was, even with shipping, it was good, guys. It was good. It was all the same yarn. It was just one listing, and oh my gosh, I'm so happy with this one. Like, really. My intentions with this. And now there's where it gets fuzzy in my head. So I don't have right now any projects that I would want to do with these full balls. This is moment of truth. But, and this is so bad, I would love to do a scrap project with them. Because I adore my scrappy blanket that I'm making right now. And I've seen this one pattern, inserting picture from Ravelry, of this scrappy basket. And I thought, ooh, that could be really nice if you combine like different cottons and you combine them in a way that you're doing like a gradient of color, like a rainbow or so. Oh my gosh, that could be amazing. And then I even could use my other scraps to fill in, and it could be, I just could make myself these really amazing baskets. And so yeah, I've ordered that one, and then I was like, well, I don't have a hook for that, right? So obviously need a different hook for that. And so I ordered something on Hobie again. Did I just buy a different thing on Hobie, and that just came here and I wasn't happy about the result in my choices? Yes, I did. It was only 1 or 2 weeks since that, but obviously I needed a different hook, and I also needed these ones, now you can see, for trying on my Sabai top. And I obviously definitely needed 3 balls of Hobie Pima Cotton Frutta in this lovely pinkish colorway, and 8 balls, yeah, you heard correctly, 8 balls of the blue colorway in Hobie Frutta. And obviously I needed that for a new project, which is the hexagon cardigan by Kelsey Beckham. I know, guys, I know I'm saying this name for the 3rd freaking time this podcast, okay? Sorry, I'm obsessed, okay? And she just came out with this pattern, and so I've started it, and I'm obsessed. I'm honestly obsessed. But thing is, now there is coming the Odyssey with this project, or with my knitting and crocheting projects right now. Again, I'm not using the yarn she suggests, because she uses acrylic. She uses Red Heart Super Saver, and I'm not. I want a cotton hexagon cardigan. So I ordered this yarn, and I'm really happy about this, right? I'm so happy about it. I obviously also needed a new hook size in 5.5 because didn't have that. And so my gauge is coming out way smaller than hers, and I was like, oh, that's no problem, I can figure out how many meters I need from this yarn, and I'm buying just 8 skeins, and it's 50% off because they're having a sale. And now I'm like, was this enough? I don't know. I'm just not even through my first ball, and I'm already stressing out because I'm like, do I have enough yarn? I don't know. So basically, I think I have, but we will see. I would love to add length to the body. I would love to have long arms and cuffs. and it's looking good. Like, honestly, I really like it, but I'm not confident I can add length. I'll see. I'll keep you updated. I'm not very good in seeing if I have enough yarn. I have researched it, right? I have researched it and I should have enough, but I'm not certain about it. So yeah, but it's still, I'm obsessed. I cannot work a lot on this because it's also, I don't know, it makes me unrelaxed. It makes my body tense. It's weird. Yeah, I'm loving this project so much, and I needed to hold myself back to even order more. So yeah, and I really love that yarn, like this Pima cotton. I mean, this is so soft. I mean, this is the other colorway, but it's so pretty, guys. It's, I love it right now, right? I just love it. Okay, let's talk the last two things shortly on my list, because we are going on for ages now, right? Okay, first, can we talk about these beautiful colors? I mean, am I obsessed with these colors right now? No, maybe. This is so funny, right? Guys, I need to tell you this. This is so funny because normally I'm someone who is only wearing, not only, but mostly wearing dark colors, dark blue, black, things like that. But with knitting and crocheting, I'm gravitating to this. These are normally not my colors at all, but I kind of love them. And I'll explain. So this one I purely bought because I couldn't resist and I wanted to make some socks out of it, and I wanted to implement the colors in my scrappy yarn blanket, right? But I want some socks out of it because, I mean, this I bought in Munich in a little store which is called Wolle Rüdel. I'm showing you here so you can hopefully read it. Here, maybe here. This is a game. Can I show you? Yes. And this is normal sock yarn, fingering weight. It's quite soft. Love it. And the other three balls I've bought for my mom because I actually hope she's not watching this video, because then it's no surprise to her. But this I'm intending to make a hat for her because I'm obsessed with hats right now, as you maybe have seen. And she is quite sensitive. Like, I also have such sensitive skin, and I'm okay with hats. Yeah, it's okay. Also, the alpaca hat that I made for myself, I know it will scratch and I know it will bother me, but I'll just try to ignore it. But for my mom, I definitely want to use a yarn that is very soft, and so I bought this baby alpaca, 2 balls of this red yarn, also from Wolle Rödel. And then I've also picked up, and this is where I'm not sure about, this is the Lana Grossa silk hair. It's 30% silk and it's 70% mohair, and if I hold it to my skin, it's not very pleasant to me. So I don't actually know if I want to use it, but I want to do a swatch and see, and then I still can decide that I'm not using this, right, for my mom's hat, and I'll use it somewhere else because this is amazing. Yeah. So, and my last project, I cannot show you some yarn because I currently have it in my cart. This sounds so bad. Okay, the last project I'm planning to, and I actually just talked about this with my mom yesterday, I want to do some socks for my dad. So these will be Christmas presents, right? The hat and the socks. This shall be for my dad, and I want to do them in gray because in Bavaria we are having the traditional clothes, and I first thought I would maybe make him some traditional socks for it, because they're especially with cables and stuff, there are some traditional things on socks that you can basically duplicate, and then they would fit to his leather pants and everything. But then I flipped through this book, which you already know, and I saw these, and talked to my mom about them, and I think they're gorgeous. So maybe I'll just make these. Have him made some socks that that are having like some more modern look to them. And yeah, we will see. But so now, honestly, I need to finish this because I'm talking for ages. And guys, we are having so many projects here. I am a bit overwhelmed. Like, there's so much going on. I know there are also 3 finished objects, but with this one, I think we're having seven projects going on, if I'm not correct. If I'm correct. Oh gosh, guys, what am I doing? I'm putting myself in a rabbit hole, and this rabbit hole, yeah, the acquiring phase has started quite a bit, and I am not mad about it, but also I need to slow down because I'm having some amazing projects here, and I also want to finish them, right? I want to do something with it. So we are concentrating on making things out of the things I have here right now. I think mostly my focus will be on this hexagon cardigan and on my Sabai top. This will be my focus for the next days because, yeah, they're just amazing. And then I'll see you next time, and I'll see you with a new update, and you'll see what happened with my crazy yarniness, right? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful time with your hobbies as I do. And we're seeing each other next time again. Bye!